whip to sword whip, and from one to the other, and we will have to watch how Mississippi State manages through the rest of their team, because their quote-unquote big gun is used up early and to good effectiveness. I mean, a 5-point lead is a 5-point lead, and can't be sneezed on, especially when, as we saw in the last set, victory and defeat can be decided by 1 point. So.
And Labyrinth being a Byleth main, we've seen quite a lot of Byleth mains actually.
Yeah, really.
Usually all up for diversity, but I haven't sat down and commentated this many Byleths. Nothing horrible, of course, but Quinnipiac sending out SoulCake, and SoulCake is a Sonic, Joker, Banjo, Bowser main.
So if you're looking for a counterpick to Byleth, then man, Joker or Sonic is very, very good in either, in terms of playing to Byleth's weakness. But you can't really sleep on Byleth anymore. Not only did down smash and down air get buffed to be stronger, despite how strong they already are, which means she pops shields for free, or he, depending on which Byleth you play. They pop shields for free. In addition to that, things like aerial side B and up B got their startup reduced by several frames, making them all around a much more threatening character at that mid-range, which is huge. It really makes the character feel a lot more dangerous, on top of Nair being already super good. Now she can affect you at a variety of ranges and make you fear for your life, like a distance demon should.
So it seems Labyrinth also has a, which we've seen a really good Luigi today. It was Kitsuji of, what team were they again? University of Colorado, who played incredibly well. So right now they're currently doing banning.
Yeah. Wish y'all, how is everyone doing tonight? I hope y'all are comfortable. It is getting slowly getting a little bit later and later. I mean, 9:30, of course. We started a little bit late, but we seem to be on a pretty good schedule right now. Make sure you're all staying hydrated and hanging out. We'll have the bands for you soon, and there they are.
They are heading to the also famous PS2, PlayStation
Pokemon
2.
State. Play, you know what? Goated console, gotta be honest. So good. But Pokemon Stadium, also really good. Biplats in general are just really, really good for a lot of different characters. I mean, it's so good for everyone that it's not good for anyone in a lot of ways. It's syndrome logic.
And I feel like PS2 is just one of those stages that everyone has to be comfortable with, because so many people go to them. But here we are. We have a Byleth versus Sonic. Sonic kind of looks like the furry version of Byleth when they're side to side like that.
I'm gonna let that one lie. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. I'm sorry. Alright, so Mr. Purple, and by that I mean SoulCake, is back at it, and Labyrinth is kind of off to a pretty early start. But if there's anything that Sonic does well, it's put damage in bunches. His damage comes in bursts. I mean, that's kind of like the character. He moves fast, and his damage comes fast, but that can come at a little bit of linearity in a lot of ways. I mean, you can see Spin Dash and Spin Charge coming from a mile away, and Byleth is always trying to stay at that longer range of her forward tilt and her forward smash, and the spear is going to make a huge difference. But if Labyrinth can't find ways to intercept, then this game could be heading down south real quick. But that quick back air does manage to put Labyrinth in a huge lead, or a solid lead, which is huge against Sonic. You cannot have this character running away from you for a character as slow as this. So by being at the lead, now you can play your game, and he's playing his game all over SoulCake right now.
And the thing you mentioned about intercepting, characters like Sonic will just go, as you say, very linear, try to go, and just attack when they can. So Labyrinth is doing a really great job at just fighting openings and getting some tilts, getting some attacks, racking up damage as a result. And it was a beautiful up there to that kill in the middle of the stage.
Yeah, Labyrinth is doing a really good job of making SoulCake move how he wants him to. Like, I want you to jump here, so I'm going to cover. I'm going to cover this part of stage. I really would like you to spot dodge, so I'm going to jump above you, and I'm going to punish all of these. But he's doing it with proper spacing and frame traps, not with just sheer aggression. Good tech away. That could have been a lot more damage, and this could be a 3-stock in the making. A lot of rage on Labyrinth's part. Back throw will kill? Back throw will kill, okay.
But we just saw how Labyrinth reached like 160 in damage, and that's an incredible amount of damage that SoulCake was able to give to Labyrinth, but nothing to take the stock. As I say, that's Labyrinth just took the stock for SoulCake. Yeah, Labyrinth's play is so tight, so tight knit. Barely any openings. SoulCake really struggling to find anything that can kill or attack Labyrinth.
Yeah, definitely a really rough start for SoulCake. It makes you consider if he's gonna swap to one of his other characters. He does have deep pockets, according to the listing that we got from their team captain. 4 characters at his disposal, but Labyrinth looks like he doesn't really care about the speed of Sonic or how many SoulCake, will try to overwhelm him. He's just going to play his solid game, play center stage, great interception, and great stage control throughout that entire game. Labyrinth looks like he was in top shape.
After the replays, it'd be great if we could cut to the bracket, since we haven't really seen Mississippi State and Quinnipiac in the bracket, and where they are and how they'll be after this current series. But
okay, and we've got our bracket up for you. It should Mississippi State take it over Quinnipiac, as they've been looking very strong thus far. They will be playing the winner of Siena College and Hawaii State, which is happening currently happening
right now. Yeah, it should be happening right now.
Yeah, it's currently happening on the other EGF stream, that being EGF official EGF.
Official EGF.
Oh yeah, twitch.tv/official EGF. So you can pop that open in a separate tab in case you're curious about the competition. But we still got plenty of more games happening over here as the bands are starting to come in. And yeah, we got our stage. Smashville is the pick. If Smashville is the pick, I'm willing to bet we've got a character swap too.
Smashville, I think, is very good for Byleth. Byleth can just run around, attack anything, and Sword of the Creator is a pretty long sword, which can cover a lot of things in Smashville.
Yeah, it's kind of the detriment to choosing a character with long going to a small stage against a character with a lot of range. I mean, you see this a lot with Zelda is a pretty prime example. Snake as well. They dominate stage because of their reach and their ability to affect multiple parts of the stage at once. Byleth is very similar to that. Like, it's hard to gain stage control against Byleth since she's constantly in control of center, and the smaller stage on top with the slightly smaller blast zones doesn't help your chances of survival if you just keep getting swatted over and over again.
Absolutely. Um, Honestly, we've been seeing so much Byleth play today, and all really amazing Byleth players. Um, but I really like the way Labyrinth plays their Byleth, especially against SoulCake Sonic. SoulCake seemed like they were so trapped in where they are, so there might be a character change, as you say, but now we just have to wait for it.
Yeah, if they're going to Smashville, then I'm willing to bet the Joker is the pick.
Right.
That's usually a really good stage for Joker in a lot of different matchups. And here it is,
Oh, you're right.
red coat and all.
The red coat is a really good color for Joker.
Yeah, he does. I mean, red is a very prominent color in his color scheme to begin with. So the added touch of color certainly helps. Oh, he's hunting for these starters. This SoulCake, but Labyrinth is spacing just around them, or just flat out being around a lot of the hitboxes, and Arsene has already been popped. And if you're using Arsene as a means to regain damage and slow down leads instead of taking stocks, then something's already gone wrong in the game state.
We've seen a lot of we've seen Labyrinth do this movement quite a lot, but I really want to mention it. And it's either a reverse fail knot or jump, reversed B, and another jump, as we've seen right there. It really adds a little bit of confusion. It really messes up with your opponent's perceptive of where you're gonna land, and just overall mixing up your airspeed and direction.
Yeah, those B reverse movement and B reverse wave bounce, turnarounds, etc. Even if your character's airspeed isn't the greatest, by carrying momentum, you can add to those mix-ups and add to your character's flexibility that much more effectively. Joker is honestly a premier example of this. However, SoulCake is really determined to move and approach with hitboxes instead of using things like gun and Joker's incredible fast fall speed to his advantage. Joker's great for starters, solid counter, but when Joker is falling versus his fast falling, there's a huge difference in that speed, which allows him to mix up how he approaches that much more effectively. Here we start to see a little bit of gunplay come out, but it's too little, too late. That was a clean snipe.
Right. You don't normally see that much. Yeah, you really don't see that much offstage bow for Byleth. So when I saw Labyrinth do it the first time, I was like, okay, wow. And then the second time getting the second kill was really impressive.
Yeah, he looked like, I mean, it kind of looked like second verse, same as the first. Like, despite the counter on the arrow, it looked like Labyrinth was confident in his frame traps, confident in his spacing, and just looked like he was ready to overwhelm SoulCake and any player that he went up against, not necessarily just in the Sonic or in the Joker matchup, as that fall through the platform was so clean in order to catch him landing aggressively.
Right, for sure. Mississippi State sending out two of their strongest leads, Yosefu and Labyrinth right now, both of them gathering 11 points for the team. Hopefully the other teammates will be able to get a couple points into this. But right now, Mississippi State is going to be sending out Mia, and Quinnipiac going to send out Bako.
Quinnipiac. Ooh, it's
Quinnipiac.
It's a tongue twister. But it's an 11-0 shutout at the start. This game is going to be huge for Quinnipiac. You better have brought your A game with these last three players, because if you don't win this next set, it honestly might just be over as long as Mississippi State surpasses 16 points with this third set. Then it is over, because you cannot win. You cannot get more than 8 points in a single set, and that's gonna be the ticket. But you know,